Greetings, this is Dr. Douglas Maurer from iMedical Apps with another medical app review. Today we're taking a look at a new app about frailty called the Frailty Tool. This app got a lot of press this summer, or rather the essential Frailty Toolset on which this app is based, due to its association with cardiovascular procedures and its ability to predict 1-year mortality and disability in those patients. Let's get started taking a look at the tool. We've got a female who's 77 years old. She's going to have a cardiovascular procedure. We'll say it's a TAVR, but you can choose different ones, or you don't need to have a cardiovascular procedure at all to use this app. That's why it's very handy. Has a cognitive assessment built in, walks you through the steps of how to do that. Has a chair rising test, 2 different components to it. We'll say they were able to rise. We'll say it took them a while to do this 5 times. We'll say they weren't really able to do it very well. Maybe they only got 4 times. And we'll say they've got some cognitive impairment, couldn't remember all those words. They did pretty well on most of these, but maybe not all of them. It requires 2 blood tests, a hemoglobin, which we'll say is a little low, as well as an albumin, which also we'll say is a little low. Actually pretty low, and we're done. And so we did poorly. So our patient is frail. They scored 4 out of 5 points, and as you can see here, it gives you some additional information as to what they recommend you should do with that information. Doesn't really give you the actual calculation here, interestingly enough. It calculates that score, but it doesn't really give you a prediction of the mortality. It'd be nice if it did that. It does have what's also called the expanded tool set, where you can put a little more information in. Let's say the patient's is 65 inches, they're 120 pounds. Let's say they've not lost weight, but they have been eating less. It has some IADL and ADL information here that it asks for. We'll say they're pretty independent on most of these. You kind of get the idea. You just kind of calculate through this, and has some information about walking, etc. So things I liked about this app, I like the fact that it had a very easy to use interface. You just can start and stop it very easily. It gives you illustrations, timing capabilities. It also contains that expanded tool set in addition to the more rapid calculator, although it was that more rapid one that was studied in the article I referenced in the online review. And it brings this new evidence to the point of care, which is really nice to see. It's also an app that's available for iOS and Android. Some things I don't like about it is there's not any information about this. You really have to dig into the literature to figure out more about it, as the app itself just kind of has this disclaimer, English or French, which I guess is handy, but that's it. There's no references, etc. And as you saw, it doesn't really give you a ton of information on how to interpret the results. So you have to be kind of familiar with the background of this app, I think, to really put it to good use. That being said, one of my other apps that I had reviewed previously, the Edmonton Frail Scale, currently has not been updated to 64-bit, so it doesn't work. So currently, the essential Frailty Toolset, which is in this app, Frailty Tool, it's about the only show in town for iPhone, and well, I guess the Edmonton Frail Scale is available for Android, but is not available for iOS until they update the app. So that's my look at the Frailty Tool. This is Dr. Douglas Maurer from iMedical Apps. Take care.